should've told me, babe. Someday these will be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you won't regret. Someday soon your whole life's gonna change. You'll miss the
I hit the mic.
You'll miss the magic of these good old days.
The silent disco in the DR.
Oh my goodness. Silent disco was like the best moment of my whole life. We were at the resort at this point, so it was the end of the week. We just see like these headphones. We're like, oh, like what's going on here? And he's like, oh, it's a silent disco. Nobody is doing it. Like there's nobody there. Then Peyton and I were like, screw it. Something about me is I love to gritty, okay? I just started doing it and then it kind of stuck. I like look over and I just see Abby grittying. And then all of us like ran over there. People start joining in and it just came this like huge thing.
Everyone's there just dancing, and I just remember like taking my headphones off.
Everybody's like singing the music, but it's just silent.
Looking at us and like we look so stupid.
And we were so sweaty.
So sweaty.
You could literally see my sweat through my sweatshirt. Like that's too much information, but
It was just like so much fun though.
it was awesome.
Worship as a whole is like my favorite memory. Like I feel like all the worship is just like a solid memory. And the DR was like the best worship I've ever had.
So like when I started coming here, like I mean it helped that I had Wheaton Academy people, but like Jack, Keenis, Morris, Connor Leishman, and Keenan Thompson, or Keenan Schoberg. That's not gonna cut that.
All the like bonfires we did during like rec club. We would do Mafia and we would do like a ton of other games. It's fun because there's a lot of like different people that sometimes can't make it to Reckless that come to rec club because it's a little bit more low key, and sometimes it's just like a smaller group of people, and it's, I don't know, I just really love it.
Definitely houseboat of 2023. Some highlights from that trip specifically was I got baptized for the first time that trip. I got to share my testimony, and then got to slide down the slide, which was really unique, and then got baptized by Mark. And that was just an unbelievable time. To just be able to vulnerable and tell your story like that, there's something about it that just requires a lot of faith and trust in God.
The lip sync of this past year, I remember Bridget first asking for she was like, oh, I really need a blonde wig, and I was like, oh, I got you. She put on her like wig and coat like before the actual lip sync in our cabin. Bridget was going full on and everything, boom, boom, bam. It's my like dad's Halloween Fred costume wig, blonde surfer dude, that's what it's called. And I was like, we've got this. This is the wig. I like couldn't stop crying, laughing. I like couldn't breathe for like 5 minutes. Seeing this full outfit together, it's like the robe, wig, everything. I was like, this is perfect.
Barbie. Gorge.
Just leading worship, whether it's on top of a boat, in the small group room, at winter camp, just kind of getting to do it everywhere has been super powerful, and I've learned a lot from a lot of great people that I've gotten to work with. Reckless really inspired me to want to do music and lead worship for a long time.
The Park Boys, the brothers, singing The Sound of Silence at DR this past summer. I just remember we were doing karaoke. Like they got up and we were like we know that they're really good at singing. Like I can hear them during like worship, like they're good. They started singing The Sound of Silence. And the whole room was like, what's happening right now? And they like obviously have practiced this before because they start harmonizing and the room like erupts. By the end, everyone's like standing and like, yeah, like it was very unexpected.
On houseboat, we had like at the start we like put up flags, and our boat we had the no half cents flag. I think Wyatt brought it. We were always kind of like flaunting it. I kind of instigated this, but I was like, let's go like steal other people's like stuffed animals that they got. The senior girls, and I think basically just Audrey Lepaka was like still pressed at us. So they took our no half cents flag like one day we see him like flying it on their boat. Like she's on like on the outside, just going like waving it. So we all like get up and like run and like jump off the boat and like swim over to theirs to like get our flag back. And like Audrey freaks out, so she like runs back in the boat. And I think like Brennan went in there and like grabbed it from her. Dylan Ock, she like climbed the ladder to get on her boat to get it back, and like Peter Handy like comes up from behind her and like puts her in like a chokehold like this kind of, and she turned around and punched him in the face. Like she just like hit him, and like we were clowning him for that.
In the DR, everyone was sleeping, and me, Mark, Theo, Reagan, and I think Nolan stayed up, and we were playing the categories game with like the slapping the hands and stuff, and we were just like slap happy, and we were going around, we were all just dying, and I remember we were doing like names category.
Category is names. Tommy, Brendan, Austin,
Grace.
And like it got to me, I had no idea what to say, and I just said like Angus, like it was so random, and like we all started dying. Like it sounds dumb, but it was hilarious.
One of my favorite memories is when Luca got baptized, my brother, last summer on Houseboat. I got baptized 2 years ago at Houseboat, and I think just the fact that me and my siblings can just like become closer, I think it's really cool that we like have that in common, that we can come here. Him and I both getting baptized at Houseboat was just like a way that brought us closer.
Okay, I already don't like airports. It didn't help that we were there for days.
I mostly blanked all of Miami out.
On the way back from the DR trip, we flew in to Miami, and we're gonna get our flight to Chicago.
We landed and we're like, oh, like this is great. Like let's go to our next flight. We were like on the plane, and they're like, oh, we have to like wait because of weather.
We're sitting on the runway for like an hour.
And they're like, okay, like your flight's delayed. And we were like, whatever, like more time together. We get off after that. Oh, your flight's canceled. Like, what are we supposed to do now?
It was like 10 at night, and we can't get a flight, so we're just gonna sit there, and we're like playing Mafia.
We had nothing else to do but play Mafia, and it got like so boring that we had to make new roles for people.
But Blake, of course, came up with a really great idea of playing like a scavenger hunt game, and there was just like a list of a bunch of random things that we had to do. One of them was like
get a beard hair from somebody. No, thank you. Like, I simply don't want to do that. There was this like kind of scary looking guy with like a giant beard, and I walked up to him and I was like, hey, I need one of your beard hairs. And he was like, no problem. He just like gave me one. It was so long, and I thought I had to carry it around the whole time. I didn't know you just needed a picture with it. So I just like carried it around the whole airport. It was so gross. It's like midnight or like probably past, and we're like, all right, I guess we're like sleeping here, so.
I was like the only one who had a carry-on. I just like squeezed everything in the carry-on. It was like popping out of my backpack too. And I had my sleeping bag, and I just slept in it during the night. I think I had like 2 other people in there with me. And I was just like sitting up like this. I think there's a picture just like this.
We like tried to sleep. It's so cold.
It was just the best like sleep of my life.
I cried, like I had a mental breakdown, and I cried in Grace's arms, and then I forgot all about it.
I saw Bam, and like we thought we saw Bam. He was like walking alone.
What's his name? Bam? Bam? We're like chasing him down to try to get like a photo with him.
So we're like following him. We're like yelling his name, and he's not turning around.
And they went across like the black and yellow taped line.
I crossed the line 3 or 4 steps over.
The lady wouldn't let them come back.
And there's like this one lady like, oh, no, you can't go back. A security breach, like I saw you step over the line, you can't go back. You have to leave the airport. We got like a video of him, like a horrible video of him walking.
We went to McDonald's. You're welcome, Kayla Vandervelde, for paying for all your food. Still haven't paid me back, but it's fine. My Venmo's A_Lucas0633. Pay back for that cheeseburger anytime.
We were told that we were gonna get on a flight to Chicago all together at like 8 a.m. And then we get there, and there's just like, the flight just like doesn't exist. I don't know what happened. and we're all broken up to like take different flights. Like they're like taking connecting flights.
We were boarding and there was something wrong with Lizzie's ticket. It was like dated for like a flight that was like 2 weeks ago. Mari was like, all right, I'll go and talk to the guy like at the counter when we're boarding at the gate. And this guy's like, sorry, there's nothing I can do about it. And she just like flipped a switch. Like I've never seen Mari as mad as then. Like we're all standing, like we're all just waiting to board, and Mari's up there with Lizzie like yelling at this guy behind the desk. She was going off, and the guy was just standing there like, we were all just kind of like, okay, like Mari's on her last straw here, everyone like behave. We eventually got all of us got on the flight and got home. And we landed in Chicago, and I grittied off, of course. And then we like found our parents and we were home, which didn't feel real.
One of my most embarrassing moments would probably be Winter Camp 2021. I was trying to impress Wyatt when we first started dating, and gotta look nice and not show the brittle hair. It was 2 a.m. and everyone was asleep, and I brought my blow dryer. Thought, oh, it just sounded like a sound machine. Whatever. I took my shower. I waited so that no one would like judge me. Whatever. And I finished, and I come outside the door, and it's Katie Tage standing there like, are you serious? Like, you're waking up everyone in this house. Like, there are girls that are trying to sleep here. Later, I think the next day, she like went step by step of, you need to revive your hair. And she told me that it was dead and that there was no going back. And yeah, but look at me now. I'm not doing it.
Yeah, hair flip, come on.
I'm not doing it.
At the Go Rec retreat, we were all getting ready to go to breakfast, and we were like down the hill from everyone, so you had to walk up, and we didn't really want to do that. And I don't remember who, but someone had access to the white truck thing, so they drove us all up there. And as we were getting off, someone was like, "Guys, we forgot Fedorsky."
Well, I woke up. I was kind of tired. That's important. I think that gives me some justification. I thought I had to fart. Turns out it was not a fart. And I kind of soiled my underwear. So I was like, oh, I'll go get him. So I went back down the hill, and I was walking into the house. And I'm in the bathroom trying to take care of it. We all do it, guys. This has all happened to us. Maybe we were in kindergarten. Was I a 16-year-old boy? Yes. Okay. And everyone's knocking on the bathroom door like, Will, we gotta go to breakfast, like what's going on?
Will, are you in here? He's like, yeah, I'm in the bathroom. I'm like, you good?
I didn't know what to say, so I was just like, oh, I'm having some issues.
Yeah, I'm having some issues. I'm like, what's going on? He's like, so when I woke up this morning, I thought I had to fart, but it wasn't a fart. I was like, oh, okay.
Now I don't know what to do with my underwear at this point. Because it's a lost cause. So I don't know if this was the right decision, but I kind of went out, because there was like a balcony and like a hill. I threw it into the yard. And I ran back. I never looked back. I think that might be a crime. Is that littering?
I just lose a lot of things at Reckless. Like the first year I lost my water bottle, right before the stop we got to the airport. Like I lost it and I couldn't find it. The second year I lost another water bottle. Like I purchased one and then I lost it. A wallet that had like $60 and I was like gonna get all these things from the Kamado. A sweatshirt, a hat, the Reckless sunglasses. I've decided never to take expensive things to Reckless because I'm gonna lose it.
There was a few of us in the SM room, and we got onto the conversation of Fortnite somehow. I used to play back in my day, I was really good.
What's your favorite place to drop in Fortnite?
Salty Springs?
Yes! I love Salty Springs. Like, that was my place. The red brick house. Yes! Come on!
I have a little bit of history making poor financial decisions. Started freshman year, we went to Denny's. I was starving. I think I spent $30 at Denny's. This one time I entered this Instagram giveaway and this account DM'd me. It was like their sister account. I thought it was their sister account. They ended up signing me up for like $80 a month monthly. Like, so they were like charging me every month. And then like after a while, someone was like, check your bank account. I just remember I was in the auditorium calling my mom, like crying. They robbed me, like they took all my money, and like I'm just an absolute mess. Anyway, in the Dominican Republic, Mark's making this big speech on the bus, you know, be careful of the people on the beach. They're gonna be offering you services. Like, you can buy from them, but like they're not giving you the right price. Like, negotiate, like all this stuff. First thing, you know, we get to the beach, we're all so excited. So I get like 2 like little braids done, I think for like $40.
I remember like after that we were all like, why would you do that? And like I got mine done and it was like $5 American and I got like a full side or something. And
Katie could have done it in like 10 seconds. And I think the braids lasted like 10 minutes. People were like, how much did you pay for that? And I was like, $40. And they're like, there was like this stand at Oakbrook for like free Bahamas vacations. I was like, what the heck? Like, let's enter it. I get a text and it's like, you won a vacation to the Bahamas. And I'm so excited. I'm calling all these people. I'm like, you want to go to the Bahamas with me? It was basically free after you paid for everything. So we went to Six Flags this summer. And I had spotted this banana, and I was like, I have to have that banana. I had to like throw a ball to knock down some blocks or something. So I'm like, I'm gonna buy the biggest package and get, like I'm gonna get this banana. So I buy the biggest package. It's like 12 throws. I win the banana on like the first try of the like biggest package. So like I didn't need to, anyway. This is the banana I won. It was absolutely worth every single penny. I think it was $65. I may have bought a $16 smoothie on the way here, but.
My most embarrassing moment was from winter camp this year, and it was like during the mosh pitting, but I was wearing these like silver metallic pants because our group did like a Barbie theme, and I was Ken, like Space Ken, so I had silver metallic pants on. And at the end, it was just like me and the senior girls for a group, and then like a few others, and then all of the leaders were there. And we were like moshing, right? It was dancing, it was great. And then the lights were off, so you couldn't see anything. But then like it was like, all right, time to go to bed. So someone flipped the lights on. And Dylan Ox was sitting and then like sitting against the wall, and she goes, Keelan, get over here right now. She's like, Keelan, you gotta go. And my pants had completely just disappeared, and you could just, it was so bad. And so I go up to Katie, and she had like this robe. I was like, hey Katie, like I got your robe, I'll bring it back for you. But I was only wearing it just so you couldn't see anything.
Kenny Robbins first taught me how to do a front flip, and I was feeling pretty confident. And he said, you should try a backflip. And so I got up to the edge of the boat. He said, just jump backwards and like tuck and just close your eyes and fall, right? And I fell pretty bad, and the worst part of it was that Steve had the drone up in the air and he caught it all on camera. So pretty embarrassing. Got sent around our group chat quite a few times. So.
By far the most embarrassing moment was one day on houseboat. It was probably one of the last nights, and everyone was getting ready to bed, getting in their sleeping bags or whatever, and I had to use the bathroom. So I walked over to the front of the boat. Everyone's back just on top, towards the backside. And so I walked towards the front of the boat, and I'm getting my footing to go to the bathroom as I do. I'm about to go to the bathroom and I lose my footing, and I completely fall off the boat, land flat on my back. Luckily landed probably one of the best ways I could. Didn't really get hurt, but it was probably in this deep of water. So I had a bunch of blisters on my feet from landing. And then one of the junior guys actually said the next day, who yelled and then I heard a splash at 2 a.m. last night? Who was that? Must have had one too many Dr. Thunders.
During the DR trip, we were all in this little tent sleeping on the ground. And I had bought chocolate from like the local market area. We were all like in this little tent. And so it was like, guy, chocolate. And overnight it got really hot in the DR, and during the day it got really hot in the DR. And so we came back one day, and there was just chocolate everywhere. It just melted everywhere.
Our tent was like disgusting. It had like chocolate wafers like melted into all the beds. It was disgusting.
We'd use that chocolate, and then Jack had also brought Nutella, and we would rub Nutella on people. and like say you got Nutella.
I ended up getting like Nutella on my foot somehow. I think they came in the tent like in the middle of the night.
Like Jack, he would wake up with like Nutella on his face. He'd have no idea. It was so tender. But Jack got pretty upset. And what we found on this trip is that Jack Bermel is very ticklish. Like I'm talking, you touch his side and he's like, oh.
Jack would get like relentlessly tickled for like 40 minutes a night, and it was hilarious. I don't think he agreed that it was funny, but I thought it was really funny.
They knew I was super ticklish, like I always have been.
I started to tickle Jack a lot, and then Wyatt did, and then I started to do it maybe a little too much.
And I was just like not having it.
And then beef happened. Jack got really mad at me, slapped me in the face.
I just like slapped him in the face. And then Mark started yelling down, and he started getting mad. And
Mark like cleared us up, and after that, me and Jack have never been the same.
It was a mess.
Sam!
Sam! So I'm the Sam that all of them reference.
So we were in the cabin and everyone's tired. It's like, whatever, 2 a.m. Sam Lavin is yapping away about who knows what.
I was talking with someone and Bridget tried to get my attention and was like, Sam!
And everyone's tired, like we just want to go to bed. And I'm like, Sam! Like whatever, like go to bed or something.
In our small group, that's pretty much how they address me.
At first she like didn't like it, but then like everyone started saying it and like she like low-key ate it up.
I used to think it was really embarrassing. I mean, it's obviously still embarrassing. Like it's quite loud.
We know she likes it.
I find it endearing in some ways.
I have a lot of favorite quotes, and I've written down every good quote from every Reckless trip in this journal. One memorable one was in the DR this last year. Luke Bloom told Brooke Singla that he was about to ask for her name in Spanish because he thought she was Dominican. Another good quote is this year at winter camp, Abby like walked into like the room where the bunk beds were. She goes, I can't believe I just said that. We were like, what? She said, I just said, oh schnoot. We're like, okay.
We decided to play a prank on Tommy Trussell, put hot sauce in one of his drinks. He ended up drinking it and it was very hot. He's saying, I wonder why I looked weird like that. I thought it was Sprite.
It's hot sauce. I didn't think you would actually drink it. If you didn't know it was hot sauce, oh no. You drank it. Someone give him a drink. I was wondering why it looked weird. I gave you this shot.
It was a funny time.
The mystery thief who stole Mark's root beer.
We bought like 150 to 200 sodas.
Mark's favorite root beer, the Barks root beer, disappeared.
It was this one thing that he like specified, like no one can touch it. It was like gone like 2 days and he was really mad. And we knew none of us took it. Like half of us don't like root beer. Peter was drinking like root beers left and right and he's like, I didn't take it. And the whole week he was like, no one talk about it, no one talk about it. We're gonna keep whoever did it disclosed, like we could hurt their feelings. No one got caught, but I think we all knew Peter took it.
We still don't really know who it is today, but we all do have a pretty good guess, and that'd be Peter Handy.
We all know who it was.
It was me. I took the bark. I'm the problem.
Peter Handy's the problem. You heard it here.
So one of my favorite quotes was this last houseboat. Gigi brought this like Mio. So during small group, I would like have it and I would like puff it, and like the puffs of air have like remnants of like grape in it. So I would be like, we're like, Gigi, what are you doing? Like that's disgusting, okay? They're like, you're lying, let me try. And they're like, they would do it and it was good.
Like little did you know, like it's phenomenal.
It was like the TikTok trend where it was like, girl dinner, you know? Eventually, like we just started calling this Mio girl vape. And so like during small group, I would whip out the Mio and everyone would go, girl vape, like girl vape.
So like every time the Mio came out, like everybody was like, girl vape.
And we would just pass it around. Everyone's like, shout out small group.
I was on food crew for one of the nights. It was the steak night. Steak is a exaggeration. Those were like it was barely a steak. Anyways, so I grilled the first one and I like made sure it was good, medium rare, which what everyone, especially Logan Ox, bro. This dude was harping on it being like medium rare like so much. I'm like, dude, we're on a boat. Like I'm not a chef. I'm not about to cook. It's a like frozen steak. Like then I cooked the rest of them, and they were hockey pucks, bro. Like, that's what Logan said, bro. He's like, dude, bro, this thing's like a hockey puck, bro. Like, oh.
My steak was a literal hockey puck, bro. They picked that off the United Center. Patrick Kane was slapping that thing around in the goal.
I think Logan was like actually upset. Like he was like really. I was like, he's like, dude, this is so overcooked, bro. Like, oh my gosh, like, oh, I can't believe it. He was just like.
Never gamble on a fart. No, I'm joking. Okay, that was a joke. Okay, I'm gonna answer seriously. Don't overthink it. Don't be so quiet like I was at first. For like my first year at Reckless, I just like didn't want to talk at all. But I definitely got better as the years went on.
One of the things I would tell myself freshman year would definitely be to be more confident. Just like walking around school, like I always just keep my head down, especially during COVID, like masks wise, and like just like kind of walking around like I was very like not confident about myself. So I'd say just be more confident.
I would definitely not take AP Stats, which is so funny because I watched this new video last year and Dylan was like, guys, don't take AP Stats.
The biggest thing I would tell myself is to not take AP Stats, ever.
I was like, you know what, I'm gonna go for a challenge. I'm gonna do AP Stats, which is so stupid. And then like I just dropped after first semester because it was just so difficult. And no, don't take AP Stats.
Stop and take in the moment a little bit more. It's not necessarily always healthy to be looking at the future. Sometimes you have to live in the present. Take it day by day and like slow down and enjoy the moment, because even looking back on like my sophomore year, there are so many amazing moments that I remember being in the moment and thinking to myself, wow, I'm gonna look back on this and be so happy and remember this.
Embrace like every little moment you have with all your friends. I feel like I just took for granted so many different friendships I had and moments, and I wish I went out with my friends more, was more intentional about different friendships I had, and yeah.
Do things because you think they're fun and not just because other people are doing them.
Dive right in a small group, be more vulnerable with each other.
Being more vulnerable, whether that's like speaking up in a small group or just putting yourself out there and putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, it's so worth it.
I think it's really important to talk about things you struggle with. I feel like a lot of people our age struggle with the same things, and maybe you're just a little too scared or nervous to share it. And if one person does it, then a lot of people open up, and it just grows everyone closer together.
Just stop being mean, like just be nice. Like I thought that it would like make me feel better about myself or something, and like it didn't. Like just be nice.
I think I would like connect with the girls in my small group more, like even outside of Reckless, because I didn't always have like solid Christian friends in high school, and I like wished I did all the time. Having the courage to reach out to girls to hang out with them, because the people here are like the best people that you're gonna find anywhere, really.
If I were to do high school over, I would think less of what people think of me and more about what God thinks of me, because ultimately that's what sustains you and goes longer in life.
Talk to people, because it just makes classes like way more bearable if the classes suck.
I think I took for granted some of the relationships that I had, forfeited, time I should have spent with certain people, and I wish I would have been more intentional with spending time with people and really engaging in conversation.
Try not to care as much about people's perception of me. That was like a really big deal to me, and it just caused a lot of stress that it was just, I don't know, not worth it in the end.
I would just be more out of my comfort zone. I would try more new things.
Pick my friends wisely, because there's a lot of paths you can go down in high school. Freshman and sophomore year, I tried like going down other paths, and it really left me in an uncomfortable place. I could see that it was like impacting my relationship with Jesus, and I knew that I wanted to like be a Christian and follow him, but it wasn't like easy to make those choices of following him when I was like doing the opposite.
Definitely in the DR.
Last year in the DR.
In the DR.
When I was able to share my testimony in the Dominican Republic a couple years ago, I was initially nervous, but afterwards I was really grateful that I was able to share something important about me and something vulnerable with people that care about me and who I care about. It really gave me an opportunity to be more vulnerable with people. That ultimately came from me being able to share a powerful moment in my life.
There was one day, and We were outside and it started like pouring rain.
It just started like monsoon raining.
A bunch of us were playing volleyball and like tons of us brought out like shampoo and conditioner and we're like showering like outside.
We were like washing our hair out of like the water that was falling off the roof.
All the kids were so happy that it was raining and like we were playing with them and like it was just so good to see like those kids just being happy just because it rains.
I met this kid named Emerso and he had this like popsicle in his hand and he was eating it and I had like no zero Spanish, like zero. And I was like, oh, is that a popsicle? And I was like pointing to it and he was like, yeah, it is. And he was like, I think he said, do you want one in Spanish? And I was like nodding my head because I had no idea. I just like nod my head to everything that they say. He was like, uno momento, and then he ran off, like, and he went to the Kamado, and I was like, when a DR kid runs away, you never know if they're gonna come back. But like I waited 5 to 10 minutes and he like came back and he had two popsicles in his hand. And like he gave it to me and like, even though I wasn't allowed to take it, like it was just meaningful that he had like used his own money to like buy me something. And I think that was just a really powerful moment of him just reflecting being a servant of Jesus.
There was a kid named Steven that lived there, and yeah, I just kind of spent the whole week with him, and yeah, I got to know him kind of. So then the next year we went, I was like thinking the whole time, like, is this Steven still here? Like, does he still come to the church? They called me like Habichuela in the DR. So I heard like Habichuela, Habichuela, and like he like ran into my arms. Just in that moment, I just felt the Lord's presence, like, you're like doing okay, like everything's gonna be fine. And the first time that I came to Reckless, I remember just being like so in awe of like the community and just like really wanted to be part of that. The worship was like just so beautiful and meaningful. I knew like God was calling me to like be a part of this group, and I just knew that he would use it to like move my life just in the right direction and in just wonderful ways.
In 7th grade at winter camp, it was kind of like the height of the Reckless love song, and so we were just kind of worshiping, and that was the first time I felt like I really took worship seriously on that last night. I just kind of sat down in my chair when everyone was standing. I went to the back and just sat down and sobbed. And what was really cool is that Isaac Lacascio came up to me and he said, brother, I love you and I'm so proud of you and God has a plan for you. And that was just kind of a turning point for me. I was like, holy crap, like this is real. This isn't just something that I've fostered from my parents. It's an actual relationship I have with the creator of the world who loves me for who I am. A weird, insecure 7th grader with a bunch of zits.
So it was my older sister's last winter camp, and me and my sister were worshiping together. We were very overwhelmed, so I remember like she came to me and like we were hugging and crying, and then Bridget Craig came over and she was like, hey, like, can I pray for you guys? And we were like, yeah, like, of course. So we closed our eyes and like she was like praying for us. And then I just like remember like as she was praying, like I just like felt like people like touching me, and I was like, what's going on? But I kept my eyes closed anyways. By the time she was done praying, like I like heard people like crying around us, and I opened my eyes and like my whole small group, like, and a couple like other like girls from other small groups were like all like around us, like praying over me and my sister as we were crying. And when I think about like there's people that don't care, there are people that care, and it's just nice to know that there's like a community of people here that I can always go to.
It was one of my first times at Reckless, and Scotty and Mark were doing Waymaker, and all the guys had their arms around each other, and something just felt like home about Reckless, and it really hit me hard. And there's a presence of God that was there that just felt welcoming, and like I had made the right choice of coming here, and I came back ever since.
Reckless has taught me that you don't always need to have it on like this big high-up houseboat or winter camp, that you can have it in the smallest ways, if that can just be worship or small group.
The missions retreat going into my junior year, I was at a pretty low point just mentally in my life. At worship, Rest On Us came on, and I just absolutely broke down into tears, and I just was in so much pain, and Lucy Brumell came over and picked me up and hugged me, and it felt like a hug from the Lord.
The last night houseboat, it was like when all the seniors are saying goodbye to each other. It's like the last time, and they're all crying. I was thinking like they're all really connected. Like this is like a real like family. Like, and people are like coming up to me hugging. They're like saying like, I'm gonna miss you so much. Like you're the best. And it's like they really make it feel like I belong. Like this is where like I need to be like every summer, every Sunday. People like here like want me here.
Never thought we'd get old. Maybe we're still young. Maybe you always look back and think it was better than it was. Maybe these are the moments. Maybe I've been missing what it's about. Been scared of the future, thinking about the past while missing out on now. We've come so far. I guess I'm proud. And I ain't worried about the wrinkles around my smile. I got some scars. I've been around. I felt some pain, I've seen some things, but I'm here now. Those good old days.
You don't know what you got till it goes, till it's gone. You don't know what you got till it goes, till it's gone. I wish somebody would have told me, babe, someday these will be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you'll regret. Someday soon your whole life's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of these good old days. I wish somebody would have told me, babe, someday these will be the good old days. All the love you won't forget, and all these reckless nights you'll regret. Someday soon your whole life's gonna change. You'll miss the magic of these good